The whole market's been ripping to the upside. Meanwhile, Kaspa hasn't made a series of green candles for weeks. And we can jump off the price graph, look at a new chart, and explain exactly why Kaspa's growth has been so stagnant. Not only that, we can pinpoint exactly when Kaspa's growth stopped based on this other chart. Now, looking forward, backup is on the way as we speak. And once it gets here, this mystery chart we're about to break into is going to start absolutely rocketing, thus carrying the price forward for Kaspa. Zooming out here, ever since the birth of Bitcoin, there's been a study that's correlating price to hash rate. It's a very complicated mathematical equation that has a lot to do with supply and demand and price discovery. And when we use the term price discovery, erroneously, this is often used to talk about a new higher high. In fact, price discovery is a much deeper algebraic equation, which has to do with how often the Girl Scouts are selling cookies, how rare a gem is, and it also directly correlates to the rising hash rate of any cryptocurrency. Now, taking a look at the Kaspa hash rate chart, we can see that it was having some dynamic action to the upside. Of course, originally, this is one of the most fundamental key points on why we wanted to jump into Kaspa. It used to be running on GPUs, and then it was switching over to ASICs. Hello, this is an absolute rocket ship about ready to take off. This rocket ship effect is just getting started. Once the 10 BPS Rust rewrite happens, then the ASIC manufacturers can now make machines that are going to be 10 times as fast. This will increase the network for Kaspa at an exponential rate, surpassing Dogecoin in network size and start eating into Bitcoin's lead over the entire market. Now, we can see, zooming in on the Kaspa hash rate chart, on the 19th of February, it took its first back step. Paralleling this with the price chart, we can see that on the 19th of February, Kaspa reached its all-time high and then started turning to the downside. Now, right now, there is a new batch of miners about to be released. They're 2.25 times as fast. The KS5 with 21 terahash. Now, remember, right around the halving event, it was the start of the new year. There was a lot of selling on both Bitcoin and Kaspa, and the reason was people originally correlated specifically with Bitcoin. They thought, oh, Grayscale is shifting around their assets under management. However, this was false, because what they eventually proved that it was these giant miner facilities selling their Bitcoin so they could then start getting the newer, faster, better equipment. Obviously, after the hash rate bumps up, a lot of their stuff is going to become unprofitable. They're going to unplug it and then sell it on the secondhand market to hobbyist miners. The exact same thing is happening for Kaspa at an even faster rate. As we know, the emissions for Kaspa happened much more rapidly than the emission for Bitcoin. So these miners are losing their profitability even faster than they are on Bitcoin. So during this January swap out and right now, people are, the mining facilities particularly, selling some of their bag to prepare to buy new hardware. This, once they plug it in, also stops their selling and kicks up the hash rate and then starts significantly affecting the price. This is about to happen with these new KS5s right now in March, and then even more so in June. Once the 10 BPS rewrite is in full effect, shortly after that, new ASICs will indefinitely come out, and then the absolute meteoric rocket ship run will begin. We've all seen this bullish narrative across television that AI is going to be sending the markets flying to the sky. We can see this happening right now inside of crypto, and there's a deeper lesson that we've learned while vetting and investing in these projects inside the patrons over the past few weeks that I want to share with all of you guys. Our two picks that absolutely rocketed were, of course, Layer AI and Port 3. We had both of these on a list about 30 days ago, and then last week we gave a double underline for Port 3 right when it was around 13 cents. Of course, we've only had a handful of buy alerts, but all of them have ripped to the upside. Actually, the biggest underperformer was our Kaspa buy alert. We knew 36 hours before that massive rip down happened. predicting that it was about to take place and getting everyone in position to buy cold storage there. Everything else has been ripping to the upside magnificently. And what's happening behind the scenes with AI is something that retail can understand. And of course, the number one rule of investing is only put your money in stuff that you can wrap your head around. Somebody says, oh yeah, quant's a great investment. This connects to banks. In order for somebody to really get their hands on that and understand it, they would have to be a regional bank manager, because there's a whole infrastructure, and then you got competition and how the tech works. So a lot of people that are promoting Kaspa in this niche, they talk about GameFi, because of course everyone can understand that. We talk about AI a lot in our group, because we can understand AI as well as retail. It's very simple. AI is an output, okay? It gives us information. In order for it to have an outflow, it needs an inflow, an input of data. And where they get this is the secret behind crypto AI. Of course, you've seen all these tech CEOs from Zuckerberg all the way down fighting with the government, because they're like, yeah, you're stomping on people's constitutional rights in order to get data. It's this piracy of data. It's the way that they're creating the inflow that makes the AI crypto technology so strong, because what it's doing, instead of having this pirated inflow of data, they're honing it down. They're categorizing it, they're vectoring it, they're processing it with a much stronger rate, so you get a better inflow of information. So when it turns around into the artificial intelligence, it can then create a stronger, more intelligent outflow of information. That's the key that's happening with all these AI products and cryptocurrency right now. And we're continuing to vet new listings inside our Patreon group. That's what our focus is. Everything that's already on the chart has ultimately already beefed up 5x to 10x or even more. Going into the bull market, it seems unrealistic to think that we're going to get 100x off that today. And of course, that's what we're shooting for inside our group, finding some 100x picks. Thanks for checking this video out, guys. We'll catch you on the